Imagine a battlefield in ancient times. On the horizon, shimmering figures emerge. Men and horses completely covered in gleaming armor. It wasn't just an attack, it was as if a living wall of iron was marching toward you. Men wrapped in iron. Horses turned into moving fortresses. I'm Tom, and here at Time to History, we bring back the stories the world tried to forget. Today, let's discover how Rome created its human tanks, and why history almost erased them forever. The Roman Empire is renowned for its military innovations. Its disciplined legions, tactical formations, and adaptability redefined the concept of warfare. But few innovations were as impressive, and as mysteriously forgotten, as the creation of the cataphracts. These armored warriors were Rome's attempt to build the ultimate weapon. But to understand how they came to be, we need to turn back time. Long before Rome ruled the Mediterranean, civilizations in the East had already recognized the power of heavy cavalry. Assyrians, Persians, and later the Macedonians under Alexander the Great, had already experimented with covering their riders and horses in bronze and iron armor. These early armored horsemen were slow, but their impact on the battlefield was devastating. They smashed through enemy lines like a steel hurricane. It was against these forces that Rome, during its expansion eastward, found itself facing. The first significant exposure to heavy cavalry came during the campaigns against the Seleucid Empire, descendants of Alexander's generals. Although the Roman legions prevailed, it became clear that armored cavalry posed a threat unlike anything they had faced before. However, the real lesson would come later. During the disastrous Battle of Carrhae, in 53 BC, the Romans faced the Parthians, masters of heavy cavalry. The combination of mounted archers and Parthian cataphracts crushed the Roman legions. Crassus, one of Rome's most powerful men, lost not only the battle but his life. This disaster taught Rome a harsh lesson: to dominate the East, they needed to evolve. It was no longer enough to rely solely on the iron discipline of their legions. They had to master the art of shock cavalry. Thus began the journey of the Roman cataphracts. Initially, Rome tried to adapt its mounted forces by using auxiliary troops, Sarmatians, Scythians, and other cultures accustomed to mounted combat. These allies brought valuable techniques and experience. But for Rome, that wasn't enough. They wanted to create something of their own. During the reign of Hadrian, the need for specialized cavalry units became evident. It was during this period that the first regular cataphracts units emerged. Initially based in Lower Moesia, these troops were trained to operate as a true shock force. The armor of the early cataphracts was impressive but not complete. The rider wore a coat of metal scales covering the torso, arms, and legs. The horse received partial protection, with plates over its chest and sides. Weapons like long lances, contus, and heavy swords completed their arsenal. Over time, the cataphracts doctrine evolved. The armor became even more comprehensive. Some accounts speak of riders completely covered, with only small slits for their eyes. The goal was clear: to turn men and horses into moving walls. The impact of a full cataphracts charge was terrifying. Imagine a living block of iron advancing, lances lowered, breaking through shield lines as if they were paper. Battles like the one at Emesa, where Rome faced the Sassanid Empire, showcased the power of this tactic. The cataphracts charge didn't just break lines, it shattered morale. Enemies often fled even before contact. The sound of hooves, the gleam of armor, the sheer force of the impact, everything was designed to create terror. However, every strength carries a cost. The heavy armor made the cataphracts slow. Quick maneuvers and flanking actions were difficult. In rough terrains like forests or mountains, they became vulnerable. Light cavalry, with superior mobility, could surround and strike them from all sides. Moreover, the cost of equipping and maintaining these units was astronomical. Producing scale armor, specialized lances, training horses strong enough, all of it required vast resources. In an empire under constant economic pressure, each cataphract was an extremely costly investment. As centuries passed, Rome fragmented. The world changed. Tactics evolved. lightning wars, ambushes, rapid raids became more common. The slow, expensive heavy cavalry lost its relevance. The last major uses of the cataphractarii occurred under Diocletian and Constantine. Even then, their importance had greatly diminished. In the end, there was no final battle for the cataphractarii. They faded slowly, forgotten among the tides of change. Records vanished. Memories faded. Today, only fragments, pieces of armor, scattered accounts, remain. But for a brief moment, Rome built nearly invincible human walls. And the world chose to forget them. If you enjoyed uncovering a story buried by time, hit like and subscribe, there's much more coming your way. How many other human walls are still waiting to be rediscovered?